Welcome back to yet another episode of Before You Summon. I am still caught up in a lot of things happening outside of more Sekai, meaning that I do not have a lot of time to actually get these videos out at the current moment. So we're gonna get through all of the information as quickly as possible today. So just a tiny request before we start. As I said, I don't have a lot of time and these videos take a lot of effort to make, so if you could consider subscribing, ringing the bell and leaving a like, that would help me immensely. But with that short request out of the way, the second event of November is Power of Regret that will run from the 20th of November to the 28th of November. This is a Wonderland Showtime unit-focused event in the pure attribute with Nene as the focus character and the rest of Wonderland Showtime as well as the virtual singer acting as supporting cast. And like usual, there are 2 exchange shop characters available for this event. Taking the 2-star slot is Rui with his card Invitation to the Underwater Show, and taking the 3-star slot is Tsukasa with his card New Challenges, New Experiences. Rui is of the mysterious attribute, while Tsukasa is of the cute attribute, giving them both 1 future use ability. Rui sees use during the event Choices for the Future that will run from the 22nd of April to the 28th of April, and in this event he is higher gameplay value as he is not available in the gacha. Tsukasa on the other hand sees use in the event The Conquering Protagonista that will run from the 10th of November to the 17th of November next year, and he as well is higher gameplay value as Tsukasa is not available in the gacha in any form. But as always, the exchange shop cards are far from the only cards being added with the event. We also have the event gacha called Clash of the Noble Knights that will run from the 20th of November to the 30th of November. This is a bog standard permanent gacha, meaning it abides by the standard permanent gacha rules. And of course, the 3 cards being added with this gacha are considered the focus cards of the event, meaning they will grant a 70% event bonus. And let's get the World Link situation out of the way instantly. The second World Link event for Emu and Nene is called Dear My Fellows and will run from the 9th of May to the 21st of May, while Len's World Link event is called Link the Beats that will run from the 6th of September to the 18th of September. Of course, as always, starting alongside the second World Link event is the second World Link support gacha. Each one of the unit support gachas will include the first set of World Link cards for that unit. The cards will be considered rate up in the gacha, making it basically a rerun of the first set of World Link cards. With Wonderland Showtime's second World Link support gacha happening in early May and the Virtual Singer World Link support gacha happening in early September. Additionally, the second World Link gacha tied to the second World Link event will have a flash rerun during the mid of September, just before the World Link final chapter Wishes Bloom. With Wonderland Showtime's second World Link gacha Dream a Wonder Dream rerunning between September 20th and September 21st, while the Virtual Singer World Link gacha Velvet Afternoon will be rerunning between September 24th and September 25th. Finally, during the final World Link chapter Wishes Bloom, there will not be a standard event gacha, instead only having the final chapter World Link support gacha. This gacha will be available between September 25th and September 30th and will include all of the first set of World Link cards for all of the units as rate up in one single gacha. Additionally, you can also spark from this gacha, meaning you can pick up whichever one of the 26 first World Link cards you want. So this is an additional way to be able to pick up the first set of World Link cards for any of the characters you want to. However, I put these as special rerun cases as we do not know how first set of World Link cards will be handled going forward when it comes to reruns. So I would consider the final chapter World Link support gacha to be your final opportunity to get the first set of World Link cards as rate up gacha options. At least until we get further announcements and communication from Colorful Palette and Sega how they will handle this going forward. But with that being said, let's get into our first character in the gacha, Nene and her card Unwavering Gaze.
ぶつかってでも進みたいって思えた。
Nene is a scorer skill card with the skill name Trust comes in many forms, and scorer skill cards will grant 100% score bonus for 5 seconds at talent level 1, with Nene's new costume being called Fear Chevalier. Due to her pure attribute, Nene has no future usability as it currently stands on the Japanese server. She does however have 2 alternative new upcoming limited cards you could go for instead. Her standard limited card comes from the event Deeper and Deeper that will run from July 7th to July 13th. With her special limited card coming from the Tamagotchi collaboration gacha We're All Tama Friends. On the Japanese server, this gacha was available between September 19th and October 5th. However, as always with collaboration events, we have no confirmation that this collaboration will be brought over to the EN, Korean or Taiwanese servers, meaning that you should take this with a pinch of salt. And as always, I also want to remind you that even if the collaboration event is confirmed to be coming to the English server, there is a big possibility that it comes way earlier or way later than it did on the Japanese server, as we have seen both things happen with previous collaboration events. So as always, keep your eyes peeled for more announcements about the Tamagotchi collaboration on the English server and keep it in mind when you plan your crystals, even if we don't know if it's coming just yet. And as for rerunning gachas, Nene has 3 upcoming ones. As always, remember that the second rerun of any given limited gacha is the final rerun before the gacha itself is discontinued and the cards join the Recollection Festival gacha pool. For more information about this, check out my general guide linked down in the description. The first gacha we will encounter Nene in is the first rerun of the Your Ticket to the City of Splendors gacha in December, with its second rerun already confirmed for August 2026. This is followed by the first rerun of the In Your Fairy Tale gacha happening in June, with no second rerun yet confirmed. Finally, we will encounter her in the first rerun of the Talent Blooms gacha, also known as the 4th anniversary, happening in October, with no second rerun of course yet confirmed. But that covers all of the reruns for Nene, meaning we can move into our second character in the gacha, being Emu and her card Dream Study Session.
みんな、お勉強。
Emu is a Perfect Locker skill card with the skill name with a sippy sappy heart. And Perfect Locker skill cards will change all bad and higher tabs into perfect tabs for 5.5 seconds and grant an 80% score bonus for 5 seconds at talent level 1, with Emu's new costume being called Superior Chevalier. And I'm sorry if I'm botching these French pronunciations, by the way. Emu, unlike Nene, does have future usability, actually seeing use in 3 future events. The first event we will encounter her in is Special Present for You that will run from the 21st of December to the 29th of December. In the gacha for this event is Rui, Kohane and Vivi Bad's God Luca, making Emu higher gameplay value as she's only ever available with a 50% bonus. This is followed by the event Connect Heart Message that will run from the 28th of February to the 8th of March. In the gacha for this event is Saki, Emu and Leonid Rin, meaning of course that Emu is a lower gameplay value as she is available with a 70% event bonus through the gacha. Finally, Emu will see use in the event or Golden Days, also known as the 5th anniversary, that will run from the 30th of September to the 9th of October. In the gacha for this event is Minori, Akito, Anne, Saki, Haruka and Mizuki, meaning of course that Emu is higher gameplay value as she's only ever available with a 50% event bonus. However, with there being 6 available gacha cards tied to a Bloom festival, there is a possibility to make a team with only 70% event bonus, which lowers Emu's gameplay value ever so slightly. And those are all of the events Emu will see use in. But of course she also has some new upcoming limited cards, 2 to be exact. The first one comes from an event we just mentioned, Connect Heart Message, that will once again run from February 28th to March 8th. This is then followed by her card from the event Deep Dark for a Light that will run from the 30th of August to the 4th of September. And as for rerunning gachas, Emu has 2 upcoming ones. The first gacha we will encounter her in is the final rerun of the Under the Eternal Bells gacha happening in February. Then we have to wait quite a while before she returns again for the Ghostly Ghastly Get Together gacha happening in August, with the second rerun not yet confirmed. But those are all the new and rerunning cards for Emu, meaning we can move on to our third character in the gacha, being Wonderland Showtime Len and his card Cheer for You. Len is yet another scorer skill card with the skill name Sekai's Acting Contest, and scorer skill cards will once again grant a 100% score bonus for 5 seconds at talent level 1, with Len's new costume being called Ability Chevalier. And Len has no future usability as it currently stands, but he does have 2 new upcoming limited cards. His first new limited card will come from the event Put Your Heart into This One Stitch that will run from the 31st of January to the 8th of February, with his second limited card arriving shortly after from the event, and so the clock hands start ticking that will run from the 30th of April to the 6th of May. And Len has 2 upcoming reruns as well. First, he will join Nene in the Your Ticket to the City of Splendor's first rerun in December, once again with the second rerun confirmed for August. He will then show up in the final rerun of the Emotional Music March Gacha happening in March. And of course, the second rerun of the Memories of Wrongdoing Gacha, also known as the 7 Deadly Sins collab, was confirmed to be happening on the Japanese server between November 21st and December 6th. However, just like with the Tamagotchi collaboration, we do not know yet if this collaboration rerun will be coming to the EN servers. So take a pinch of salt and keep your eyes peeled for future announcements surrounding the 7 Deadly Sins second collaboration rerun, as it's quite possible once again that the collaboration rerun comes way earlier or way later to EN, Taiwan or Korea than it did on the Japanese server, which covers all of the cards added with the Clash of Noble Knights gacha, meaning we can move on to the event team building. As always, this is a unit-focused event, meaning that all virtual singers, as long as they are the correct attribute and unit, can grant the 50% event bonus. And with the changes made to blank virtual singer cards in conjunction with the Bloom Festival update in June of this year, the correct unit is either Wonderland Showtime or blank/unitless virtual singer cards. So as long as they have either of those unit tags and are in the pure attribute, they can grant a 50% event bonus. But with that reminder out of the way, let's get into the asterisks for the 3-star card and 2-star cards. And this time around we have 4 asterisks pertaining to collaboration events, 1 minor asterisk and 1 elephant to address in the room. The 2-star Rui featuring Hanyadon as well as a 2-star Luca featuring My Sweet Piano, of course, are only available if you pick them up during the Sanrio collaboration event. So if you did not play during this time or you did not pick up these 2 specific cards, you will not have them available in your event team building. The same is also true for the Let's Enjoy the Movie Nene and Rin. If you did not go watch the movie in the cinema or you live in a country where it wasn't released, these cards will be wholly unavailable to you as you needed the codes from the movie watching to actually get these cards. The additional asterisk we have is a minor one. The 2-star Kaito from the Wonderland Showtime World Link event with your sights set on Stardom Set Sail has just entered the standard gacha pool with Mizuki 5. Meaning if you haven't pulled since with this Path of Thorns and you did not play during the Wonderland Showtime World Link event, you have no way of having this 2-star Kaito, but he is available in the standard gacha pool, meaning that if you pull on the gacha, you could potentially get him. The final asterisk we need to address is a 2-star Rin from the event Revival My Dream. Of course, the cards from Revival My Dream has been wholly removed from the global server, meaning it is impossible to have this 2-star Rin no matter what you do if you are a global player. However, this is not the case for Taiwanese and Korean players that watch my videos, as you guys have these cards available to you. So just know that if you are playing on the global server, this Rin is wholly unavailable. But that covers all of the asterisks, so let's get into the 4-star selection. This time around we have 24 available cards with 7 different events bringing more than 1 card. 4 of these are permanent and 3 of these are limited. However, the limited gachas have 2 special cases. The first limited event we encountered with more than one card is one of those special cases. This in the form of the second anniversary event at this festival, Bathed in Twilight, that brought a Rui. However, this event was connected to a colorful festival that brought a Miku and a Luca as well. With the second limited event we encountered being the standard one, being Picture Perfect, that brought a Nene and a Len. With the final special case being one of our most recent events here on our dream stage that brought a Nene, as well as being connected to a Bloom festival that brought a pure attribute Rin. The permanent gachas on the other hand are a lot more straightforward, with the first event to bring card being Run Sport Festival Committee Rush, bringing an Emu and a Wonderland Showtime Miku. This was followed by the event Mermaid Admiration that brought a Nene, a Rui and a Wonderland Showtime Luca. The third event being The Song of a Canary in Crisis, bringing a Nene, a Rui and a Wonderland Showtime Kaito. Finally, we have a rather recent event, Halt, Tenma's on the Case, that brought a Tsukasa, a Rui and another Wonderland Showtime Luca. And this only leaves 6 remaining cards coming from different scattered events. Out of this, 4 of them are some form of limited and 2 of them are permanent, with one of them being a slight asterisk. The first limited card we saw comes from the first anniversary event Scramble Fan Festival in the form of a Tsukasa. This was then followed by the Emu from the event To You, My Caring Companion. The 2 remaining cards are unit limited cards from the 2 different World Link events. We have the Tsukasa from the Wonderland Showtime World Link event With Your Sight Set on Stardom Set Sail, as well as the Meiko from the event With You at Sekai's Beginning, with the standard permanent card coming in the form of the Tsukasa from the event Doll Festival at the Tenmas, and the special permanent card being the Emu from the event The Best Summer Ever. She is special as she's only ever been tied to a limited event and only ever rate up during a limited event, but she is a permanent card available in the permanent gacha pool, meaning you can get her from off-banner pools. And in addition, we have 6 available birthday cards, this including the first year Meiko, Len and Nene, as well as the second year Rin and Emu, and the third year Luca. And initially I thought this event team building wasn't actually that bad. However, once I started to look the event over more closely, I directly noticed a lot of problems. Most notable is that we do not have a virtual singer option at all for the 3-star selection, which docks a lot of points against the event team building, as 3-star cards is a great way for early, mid and late game players to be able to get a high event bonus with semi-strong cards if you do not have 4-star cards available. Additionally, Tsukasa has for a very long time only had a single pure attribute permanent card until Halt Detective Tenma happened a few months ago. And additionally, both of Emu's permanent options are quite old, meaning that if you haven't been playing for a very long time, you have to have gotten them through the off-banner cards when you've been pulling for another gacha. Some of this is weighed up with the fact that we have a pretty decent selection of virtual singer cards in the 4-star category, with the colorful festival Miku and Luca from the second year anniversary being quite popular, and there being at least 4 different virtual singer cards available from the Wonderland Showtime cast. But I genuinely don't think that these things make up for the problems that we have with the event team building. So instead of me rambling on, I hope that mid to late game players can achieve a 270 to 280% event bonus if you aren't a massive Wonderland Showtime fan, which I hope you can achieve the 300% event bonus without any major issues. And as for early to mid game players, I hope that you can reach the coveted 250% event bonus without any major issues. So with that, once the event ends, we will see an afterlive. The afterlive will be available between November 28th and November 29th, and participating in the event will grant you 300 crystals and a stamp, the stamp this time around of Nene called This Is My Level Right Now. now. And since this is a unit-focused event, we will get a new commissioned song. The new song is called Boku no Kami-sama and will only release with a Sekai version at launch. There is no virtual singer version for this song, however there will be another vocal for Nene released around September next year. So if you are a massive Nene fan, you have that to look forward to. But with that, we have covered everything you need to know about the event Power of Regret. While I do really like the aesthetics of the card in this event really never stuck with me personally, meaning I don't have a lot of opinions on it. So instead of me vaguely rambling on about the cards and the event story, why don't you guys tell me down in the comments how you feel about this event? Are you guys excited? Do you like the card aesthetic? Do you find the story interesting? I'd love to hear your comments down in the description, and I do try to read every single comment that I get. Once again, if you could please consider subscribing, ringing the bell and leaving a like, these things will help me immensely in my growth as a channel and maybe even making this a full-time endeavor some point in the future. While on the topic of making this a full-time endeavor, I of course want to extend a special thank you to all of my patrons for continuously supporting me. With an extra big and warm thank you to all of my append players, being Bambi, Helen P. 001 Star, Mia Marie 21, Katie, Opal Siren, Petrish, Shino Empire, Shoop, and Veritas Uwu. I do feel like I can never really thank you guys enough for your continuous support of the channel. You guys are truly amazing. And if you as a viewer wanna join them in supporting me that little bit extra, you can find the link to my Patreon down in the description where you can support me for as low as $1. Obviously, don't feel pressured as watching my content is more than enough. But with that, we have gotten through the event Power of Regret, so I will not keep you here any longer. Let's get out of here for the week.